Pastor Steve Waldron here with New Life Pentecostal Church in Albany, Georgia. One of my favorite study Bibles here, the Ryrie Study Bible, the Charles Caldwell Ryrie Study Bible. Charles Ryrie, longtime teacher at Dallas Theological Seminary, wrote 32 books, sold over 1.5 million copies, and then this Bible has over 10,000 explanatory notes and so many other things in it. Has sold over 2.6 million copies. Now, I've sold a lot of these in my life. Moody Press. Moody normally is not a Bible publisher, but they did in this instance. Again, C.C. Ryrie had 3 different doctorates, University of Edinburgh, with Lewis Berry Schaefer there in Dallas Theological Seminary. Had another one from somewhere, I don't even remember where. A Doctor of Letters, I think from Liberty University, as a matter of fact, is where it was from. And just considered to be conservative, fundamentalist, and dispensational. He just died in 2016, in February, a little earlier this year. So let's open it up. I've got a great scholar friend of mine, apostolic scholar friend of mine, that this is his favorite Bible, or at least it was. So let's look at it. He's got a little introduction. And then he's got like the... an introduction to the Old Testament here, which is good. One of the neat things about this Bible that I like, both in the leather and in the hardback, is it's kind of like yellow paper. You don't see it a lot. It reminds me a little bit of the Cambridge Clarion. And then an introduction to the book of Genesis, all very conservative in its dating and its authorship. Which when we say conservative, we mean truthful. One thing on this about the order of the events in the Old Testament, one thing that's valuable about this Bible is he's able to put a lot of information in a little bit. So, like he'll say here, Genesis, Job was in Genesis. Exodus, you also had Leviticus chronologically. Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, you had Ruth. 1st and 2nd Samuel had the Psalms. So just a lot of neat stuff. Has a great little outline. Now the introductions are not real expansive, but they are power packed. And then like he's got here, a family tree of the patriarchs. Just fantastic little chart in black and white. And then you can see the copious notes. Another thing that I personally like is I do like the side references. Man, it's just so hard for me to use center column reference. I do, but the side references are just so much easier to use. So let's keep going in here. This particular one, let me just show you this. This is also thumb index, and I do like the silver thumb index here. It comes in the King James, the English Standard Version, the New American Standard. I know they made it in the NIV over the years, maybe the New King James. I'm not sure if they're still in print. But I do like that. I do like the silver on blue. So let's go to the center. Let's see if he's got between the testaments, a little thing between the testaments. Like I'm hearing Amos, date 755 BC, author Amos, all this. Okay, so we're getting here. You can tell I'm not using the thumb index. Yeah, so he's got like a little chart. What happened from Malachi to Matthew? And then, of course, another great introduction to Matthew here. An introduction to the New Testament, excuse me. Just like he's got a little introduction to the Old Testament. Just invaluable. And then an introduction to the Gospels. I really like that, as a matter of fact. Then you come to the introduction of Matthew. You can tell, once again, just so many good notes. I like the bolding. I like how he brings the outline into the text itself with the bolding, with the subheadings. That's a good thing as well. And very legible bolding. Now let's get to the back. This thing's got some great stuff in the back. Let's get back here. I'll actually use the thumb index. Now he's going to shine. If you're a dispensationalist or if you are a rapture guy, he's going to shine. That's just what he does. So you get to the back, really handy, index to the various subjects. So various major subjects in the Bible, he'll just tell you what page or scripture to turn to and get right there to them. So that's very handy. Most of this is scripture. And then a more extensive thing here. Let me just see, I feel like I'm skipping something here. Maybe I'm not. Okay, but between the Testaments, that's always fascinating history. Because you've got Alexander the Great rising, and then him dying young, and the 4 generals taking over, and it influences the world to this day, that Hellenization process, and God was preparing the world for Jesus Christ and the spread of the gospel. He does all things well. In the fullness of time, he sent his son, made of a woman, made after the law, Galatians 4:4. The Romans were building roads. They thought they were for the military and commerce. Nope, they were for the spreading of the gospel, mainly. And then good harmony of the Gospels. He does his harmony of the Gospels a little different. You may see that than most people do. Like he's got it divided into 186 events in the life of Jesus Christ. And then synopsis of Bible doctrines, outlines. Again, this is invaluable because it's like a new converts course, or even you can teach it. You just get like the doctrine of the Bible, the doctrine of God, this type thing. So let's get through the synopsis here, the different synopses, various doctrines of the Bible. Then he's got like the inspiration of the Bible. And he would be fairly conservative on that. How to understand the Bible, which is known as hermeneutics. I don't like to call it hermeneutics because it gets its name from the Greek god Hermes, who was considered to be the mouthpiece of the gods. So I'm just like, biblical interpretation. That's what we'll call it. So he does do understanding the Bible. But if you want to be fancy, it's been said the reason you go to college is they use simple concepts and use complicated words, and the professors charge to tell you what the big words are. No, I shouldn't say that. Anyhow, how we got our Bible is a big thing. Instead of saying chicken pox, they'll come up with some big word for chicken pox, and so you have to pay $100,000 to learn the word. So the meaning and blessings of salvation. This is really good right here. Archaeology in the Bible. Archaeology is our friend. What great proofs. Archaeology properly interpreted. There's biases involved. Some people don't interpret archaeology correctly. Then the names of God, list of weights and measures. He's got all kinds of charts, like Jerusalem, the tabernacle. They're in black and white, too. Now, I know they're copyrighted, but they're in black and white, almost like, you can copy them. But I don't recommend that, because that's against the law, unless you get permission from Moody Bible Institute. Messianic prophecies. And then I like this chart, the prophetic books. It tells the date, like Obadiah 8:40, where it will be found, 2 Kings 8:12. The kings in the northern kingdom, southern kingdom, and then a basic thing like judgment on Edom. He does that with each of the prophets, and that's just excellent. You can tell he taught at a Bible college level. I think he taught at Philadelphia College of the Bible for a while, which is now Cairn University. He also, weirdly enough, in high school, he met Frank Gable, who was a big time, fundamentalist back in the day. But again, messianic prophecies, ton of those listed. Prophecies concerning the death of Jesus, he lists 34. Still got Jerusalem at different stages of development throughout history. More on Jerusalem. Rulers of Palestine. Goes into the Roman era. And then the ministry of Jesus. Now, I love how he did this with the dates to the side. Now these are approximate dates. You can argue back and forth. Usher, Floyd Nolan Jones, they've probably done two of the greatest jobs on chronology that I know of. And they may contradict these a little bit. You're within 2 or 3 years, 4 at the most. All the miracles of Jesus, which is not all the miracles of Jesus, but that he's got recorded. I did a chronological Bible one time, all the parables of Jesus, but all the chronological Bible. I was listing all the miracles. I'm like, there's a lot more than's in the back of most Bibles. Parables of Jesus. And then he's got a great thing on the Acts of the Apostles. And this again, could you imagine teaching a youth Sunday school class or an adult Sunday school class or something on this? Dates. And that's just invaluable there too. Now, another thing I really like, 7 cities of Revelation, is a topical index. Like assurance, backsliding, blessing. I think he's got 68 topics. Fellowship, forgiveness. I remember the Disciples Study Bible back in the day had that. It was just great. And I wonder if they got the idea from this. And then how to read, worldliness, worship. Then how to read the Bible through. And you can see there's still a lot more stuff here in the back. A concordance. I like this concordance, again, because it's bolded. A lot like the outlines are bolded in the text. And also the key word that you're looking up in the concordance is bolded as well. So let's keep going here. And then, now I'm just into biblical chronology. You'll have to excuse me. But he's got one of the best biblical chronologies, starting really creation and then Abraham, page after page. And it tells you secular history and biblical history simultaneously. So the United Kingdom, just all kinds of stuff. He has biblical book. He just did it absolutely awesome. What can I tell you? He did a great job at this. Then a map index. And excellent little maps, full color maps. I really like, Abingdon is the big map people. The Methodist Publishing House, they're the ones that did maps. So this is the Ryrie Study Bible. I think you can pick one of these up for $20-something, CBD.com or 1-800-Christian, eBay, Amazon. Really good. Eat the food, spit out the sticks, be as smart as a goose. But God bless you. Talk with you later.